Welcome to the Goose One channel. So I'm no marketing major or anything like that. I'm a biology major actually, but marketing is something I think about weirdly a lot. Not in the sense that I think about how to market or promote stuff, more so that I really think a lot about how marketing and finance pervades every aspect of our lives. Back in 2019, when he was a large YouTuber but not the household name that he is now, Bomber Guy released woke brands. In this video, he talked about certain brands doing woke adjacent things and the outrage that followed soon thereafter. It's a great video, I really like it, and it also really changed how I thought about marketing ever since. I realized, yes, it took a YouTube video for me to realize this. Mind you, I was 14 when this video released, that marketing really was everywhere. That marketing was more than just commercials, but that it was also timed outrage. That the mechanisms of propaganda and marketing were a lot more similar than I had previously thought them to be. And I became even more vigilant of strange mentions of branding, of any large-scale reaction to a product. In 2022, on the 10th of March, Sony released Morbius. Morbius follows, wait, this doesn't matter. If you don't know what Morbius is about by now, you don't actually need to know, especially not for this video. All you need to know is that it flopped. It was a terrible film led by terrible film lead Jared Leto. It was a huge box office disaster, barely making back half of its total budget. And we all thought that shit was fucking hilarious. It went viral, the flop itself becoming one of the biggest viral moments of 2022. And the very idea of Morbius became a meme strong enough to be transmutated and brought back every time a new flop hit the market, turning its blanking time into one of the decade's few evergreen meme templates. So what did Sony do? They released it again. See, Sony didn't understand what was happening with Morbius. They saw the movie's name going viral and thought that meant people wanted to see it. But no one really did. People knew maybe one scene from the film. But the thing that was being memed was that no one saw the film. And what's funnier than a movie being released and no one seeing it, than it being released again and no one seeing it again? But I think in the background, in the shadows, the marketing companies and the suits were taking notice. This might not have worked, but there was potential here. A meme campaign so strong that it could sell a movie, that it could win back a budget. They just needed to see it happen in earnest first. And in 2023, they got exactly what they wanted. Barbie, directed by Greta Gerwig, known for directing movies like Lady Bird and Little Women, was a 2023 movie based on the Barbie IP. Oppenheimer was a 2023 biopic based on the life of famous physicist Robert J. Oppenheimer. These two movies were set to release on the same day, and that seemingly was enough to set the world on fire. It was something about the contrast, I think. This bright, pink, bubbly, and happy movie contrasted with Nolan's dark, gritty, introspective telling of Oppenheimer's life. People love contrast, especially between happy and sad, between light and dark. In the human consciousness, these are seen as such opposites that seeing them together is enough to make us go, huh, or even, huh. It's like that picture of the black and the pink houses. Either way, Barbenheimer actually blew up. It became memes, it became a theoretical double feature, and it became a clothing style you could wear to that theoretical double feature. Cast members from both flicks even began acknowledging the memes. Margot Robbie, for example, giving her input on what order you should watch both movies in. I think I'd personally go with Oppenheimer, then Barbie, though. And as far as campaigns go, it was a success. Both movies together made over $2 billion, more than recuperating both their budget. There's really no way to tell how much the Barbenheimer thing contributed to that success, but View International did report that almost 20% of Oppenheimer goers also purchased tickets for Barbie. And that's not nothing. And then, the suits really paid attention. I don't know if Barbenheimer was astroturfed. Some people seem to think it was. I personally don't. And if it was, I think it was a natural movement that was later adopted by Mattel once it had already blown up. But the suits saw this and realized that this was an effective strategy, an incredibly effective strategy, the next level of word of mouth, or I suppose the modern incarnation of it. So, as they do, the marketers started cooking, started thinking, started working on doing this intentionally, creating a viral meme that would get butts in those damn seats. And I think this year, the fruits of that labor are coming to fruition. On December 18th of this year, 2026, two films were released. Dune Part 3, the third part in the celebrated Dune trilogy by Denis Villeneuve, based on the popular Dune book series, and Avengers Doomsday, which is, you know what Avengers is. I don't need to tell you what Avengers is. And this release date has started to be dubbed Dunesday. And this is AstroTurf's viral marketing, ignoring Timothée Chalamet and RDJ coming together to dub the name live on stage for the screening of Marty Supreme. This is not grassroots in any way. I think this is really coming from the top down, an attempt by corporates and advertisers to recreate that Barbenheimer hype, to get butts in seats, to sell their damn tickets. And of course, some real people are doing this too, are invested in this Doomsday thing. Where there's hype, even fake or artificial hype, people will hang on. Those people aren't dumb or mindless drones or anything like that. It is fun to imagine these worlds colliding. It is completely fine to be hyped for both these films to release. But I truly don't think this idea came from the fans, and I think that's where it went wrong in the first place. This is a marketing campaign, first and foremost. Nothing in particular, I suppose. I don't think the fact that movie execs thought, oh, let's try Barbenheimer again, is seriously harmful to us or anything like that. At most, it's just kind of breaking the trust of people who are seriously hyped. But what I think it is a sign of where we are. While researching for this video, I found a Substack article by Rob Redinger that I think is really relevant here.
All of this comes down to the insatiable desire to capitalize on the gold rush of the moment, to make the most money while we can. It's a top-to-bottom ordeal, from the lowly creators to the boardroom bros in a venture capital firm, all just selling things, so many things, to make the most money. The worst part about it is that there's room for so much more. Look at a blank space anywhere. All of that is space for advertising, especially when we explore the possibilities of augmented and virtual realities. The true landslide of advertising has yet to even begin.
And I think that's exactly what's happening here, turning real grassroots movements into vehicles for marketing, for advertising, turning every square inch of real estate, be that physical, digital, or even mental real estate in this case, into metaphorical billboards to promote upcoming content, upcoming products. And while this is a relatively benign example, I suppose, I still think it's an important one to acknowledge. So with all that said, I think this is where I head out. I think the point I'm trying to make is pretty obvious at this point, and I don't really have much else to say other than this. If you liked this video, give it a like, maybe even subscribe. If you didn't, maybe tell me why in the comments. If you want to support me further, consider heading to my Patreon or my Ko-fi, both of which are found in the description down there. And now I'm done. I'll see you guys in the next one.